Welcome to Grace for Dyslexia. Today we address gifts. This is podcast number 6. Samantha looks around her classroom at all the students. She wonders how they all got such different gifts. She asks herself why. Why does she struggle so with reading and spelling? How did she miss receiving these gifts? Samantha saw how talented and accomplished they all seemed to be. Her view of her own abilities was lessened by what she saw in others. Samantha started looking for answers. She asked her parents, who were very encouraging but could not provide the answers she was seeking. She went to her best friend, who tried to share her gifts with her. Samantha said, "That can't be the truth." She searched for answers in books, in movies, and on the internet. These only led her to be even more confused about herself. She examined herself for her gifts. She compared herself to others, which did not help. Samantha, even though crushed, kept looking for answers. One Sunday, Samantha went to church with her family. She quietly sat and pretended to listen to the message given by their pastor. Then he read something from Scripture. It said, "But by the grace of God I am what I am." Samantha took notice. She began to really listen to the words from that point on. She was inspired by the words, "I am what I am." Samantha thought, is that my answer? Is it my gifts are by grace? Do I just need to accept them for what they are? The pastor continued talking about each of us having many gifts. Some we know we possess, others we are yet to discover we have. Samantha sat up in the pew. She felt her heart leap in her chest. She was so excited. Somehow she knew that she too had gifts, that she should accept who she was made to be by God. She left the church that day with a new view of herself and her world. That week at school, Samantha was in art class. They had been asked to paint a winter scene for the school holiday program. Despite only a little direction from the teacher, Samantha was busy creating a snow-filled scene of children at play. Her classmates were struggling to put ideas to paper. They were unsure of their skills, fearful of their creativity. Samantha offered to help several other students get started. She showed others ways she had used to make her painting. Her classmates were so thankful for her help. They so liked Samantha's painting. Samantha's heart leapt in her chest again, just like it had in church. She paused and thought, why did that happen? She sheepishly looked around to see if anyone had noticed a change in her, but no one had noticed. As she was hanging her finished painting, her teacher walked up. He said how talented she was with her technique and use of color to represent her winter scene. Her heart leapt again. She had all she could do not to jump up and down. Samantha instantly knew what was happening. She had found a gift provided through God's grace. After arriving home from school that day, she went to her room and wrote in her diary about what had happened at school. She found herself writing as if she were thanking God for her gift of painting. She thanked God for her friends, her teacher, her parents, and most of all, for her heart. After a good night's sleep and a wholesome breakfast, Samantha set off on another day of school. She was not expecting anything like yesterday to happen again. In fact, she was sure it would not. Samantha was walking with some friends to school that day. They were chatting and laughing about things. Suddenly, one of her friends started crying uncontrollably. Samantha, like her other friends, was shocked and hesitant to help her friend. But Samantha put her hand on her friend's back and calmly spoke to her. She helped her friend stop crying. Samantha offered to help her friend again after school. Samantha's heart leapt in her chest, and this time she knew what it meant. It was God showing her her gifts. Inspired by Romans chapter 12, verse 6a. We have different gifts according to the grace given in each of us. Dyslexia and the thinking of dyslexics is considered a gift by many. What are your gifts? How do you use them? Ask God to show you. Ask Him to set your gifts apart so that you may receive them in an open heart and a thankful soul. Grace for Dyslexia is a podcast dedicated to Christian encouragement for children and adults who have or are struggling with dyslexia. All stories in Grace for Dyslexia are fiction. Names, characters, places, and events are the product of the author's imagination. Any similarities to actual events, locales, or persons living or dead is coincidental.